Welcome to the Union Fitness Podcast, everyone. So this week we're a mess because CJ and I don't have headphones on because we have someone live in the studio, CJ. Again, welcome. We got to thank our man, producer extraordinaire, Josh Alsaz. Does it all. Makes random cat noises sometimes. CJ.
He's ready to break up the band, folks.
Before we begin with our super special guest today, we're going to throw this out to all you. Who's better, Slipknot or Stone Sour? Think about it, discuss amongst yourselves, and come back to us with answers. And if you say Stone Sour, you're dumb. Just going to throw that out there.
Or you just have a different opinion.
I don't think you're dumb. Probably just a different opinion. But welcome. We have one of our members here today.
One of our longest tenured, probably, too. Yeah.
Best arms here.
In the room. No doubt.
Yeah. In the room, no doubt.
Competition.
Jessie Sinatra. Which one are we going with?
Sinatra's my maiden name, but
yes.
Tyson is my legal name.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
So we're going to talk about a lot of things from your beginnings in what you're getting ready for now in the lifting world, but also as one of the longest tenured lifters here at Union Fitness, what that's been like, but also like you moved across the country and have a pretty cool story there, so we can share that. Cool. So drop it on us. Give us a little bit about yourself.
Time to shine.
Oh,
no pressure.
Tell us.
I was thinking too when you asked me. I was like, man, I really hope I don't put my foot in my mouth. So
I already did. I called everyone.
Yeah, you lost all two
I'm done.
of our followers.
Yeah, this is a true test. So yeah, about me, I am originally from California. Not born there though. I was born in North Carolina at Fort Bragg.
I didn't know.
I am a military brat, so I know spotlight-wise, some of you guys might know. My dad was in the Army, 20 years, 82nd Airborne. My mom was a Marine. Both pretty badass people. Grew up in a very strict household, as you can imagine, but...
Is that why you rebelled and didn't go into the military?
So no, my dad actually, he did not want either of his children to go into the military. Which if you asked either my brother or I, we were definitely considering that as an option. Yeah. And they were like, nope, I didn't go through all the time in the military for you guys to squander away the opportunity. A lot of his GI Bill paid for schooling for us. So he was like, not going to happen. I think that was still a disappointment anyway, because I went to a year of college and was like, I'm going to go be a professional makeup artist in LA. And both of them were like, come again?
Maybe the military should be.
That's a totally normal story.
Yeah, so I grew up in Central California and spent, once I turned 18, went to community college for a year and was like, this just isn't my shit. Like, I don't want to be here. I need to go to a bigger town or city or, admittedly, I even then wasn't absolutely sure that I wanted to do makeup. The guy I was dating at the time was in LA. He was doing film and I was like, cool, what's related to that will get me the hell out of here that I could potentially do. So I applied to makeup school in Burbank, and it's like a super fast program. It's 4 months of just coming in every single day and doing makeup for film and runway, and I did that. So I finished school, did makeup for 8 years, dabbled in a number of other things because when you're in the industry, they call it the industry, so
it's more official.
Yeah, so when you're in the industry, it's very rare to be able to kind of make a full-time living out of it, so you always have side gigs. So I was working at salons. I was a Macallan girl, so I worked as a rep for Macallan whiskey. Oh. And we'd go around to all these bougie-ass golf courses and be like, Macallan?
I've not grown my whiskey taste buds yet, so I don't know. I don't have the cool...
Is there whiskey in the room right now?
Well, it's kind of a bummer because it ruined a ton of other whiskeys for me. So
so you're a whiskey snob now?
not a whiskey snob, just like now I have a particular taste for it. And
So
now I
you-
have like opinions on like, oh, the
say
15-year
it's a yes.
tastes like
It's a
tastes
yes.
shitty. It's more like woody than the 12 or the 18.
You know, I want to interject. I used to be a sommelier. You know,
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really?
And I'm not a wine expert, but the owners were, and they're good, very nice people. And when you sit with someone who knows something, one, anyone's passionate will make anything interesting, right?
Right.
But two, like, and you probably got, like, when you first started, you're like, does it taste like Bernie? Tastes Bernie, burns the whole way.
Yeah.
And then someone says, well, wait a second. In middle of your tongue, you're like, ooh. And then you like, when you talk to someone knowledgeable about a libation,
Yeah.
it changes the experience.
All of it.
And still, like, I love wine.
Yeah.
And I try, but you have to have someone, like, more knowledgeable than you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I enjoy good whiskey. Like, I can tell the difference. But if you ask me, like, oh, what are the notes that make
Yeah.
one whiskey better than the other?
I love reading wines when it says, like, you'll taste the vanilla and the chocolate come through, and I'm like, tastes red.
Yeah, honestly, like I like wine too, and but I'm not like a particular snob about it. It's like I don't know if this is good. I know that I like it, but yeah. So anyway, I did that for a little bit. Met my husband, Will, fondly known as Willie T for people who know him.
Will the Thrill.
Yes.
If you need legal advice, that's my guy, because
Yeah.
when I get arrested, I know who I'm call. My one call.
Yeah. So he is the reason I'm actually in Pittsburgh. He's originally from Erie. Moved to LA like, well, I guess now it would be like 14, 15, 16, 17 years ago. So like right when he turned 18, he's like getting the hell out of Erie and moved to LA. So we met there. And he was cycling. So he was like kind of semi-pro cycling, like the full spandex outfit type of cycling. And he was doing that, you know, pretty competitively. He managed a bike shop out in Santa Monica when we met, and I was working one of my random jobs. I was working at a post-production sound studio for film. So I had the low man on the totem pole job. So I was the runner, and I got all of like the food and the snacks, and I sent like the film to, you know, different studios and met a lot of cool, you know, people, you know, some interesting celebrities and stuff. But like I was definitely like I was making $8 an hour. I wasn't shit. Like I was not shit.
You were to us.
I'm sorry.
You were to us.
Well,
We
you
didn't know
know.
you yet, but you were.
But
Yeah, well, that counts. That counts. But yeah, Willie T and I met at like a 4th of July pool party, completely by accident. I remember him coming over. So I was working with one of his friends on like a photo collaboration, and we were at the mutual pool party, and he's got like out of the pool at this pool party and walked up to me, and he was like, "You're Jessie," and I'm like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Sorry, am I allowed to cuss?
Well, you already did.
Oh well.
It's like the fourth one. Did he have flowing hair? I picture him with, because I know he's a surfer at the time. Like,
Yeah.
I picture him as real golden.
He was a degenerate. Like honestly,
Yeah, I heard the
like
story of when he decided to become a lawyer when he was surfing.
yeah. So he was just decided one day he's like out, you know, in the water, and he's like,
Like Orange County.
No. So we were in Venice Beach. We were in like
is so
the
cool.
gritty. I call Venice Beach like the middle child of like the LA beach towns. You have Marina del Rey, which is like the young child, and it's kind of cool, and like people want to be there. You have Santa Monica, which is like the older child, and it's clean and like has its shit together. Then there's Venice Beach right in the middle. That's just a shit show. But like,
no, Venice Beach is.
it's no. But I mean that in
great
the best.
music that came out of Venice.
I mean that in the best way. Like it is just so like weird and like funky and
Bunch of hipsters, I'd say.
yeah. Oh, look who's talking. But yeah, so he was out in the water one day with our friend Rob, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I want to become a lawyer." And you know, I'm totally paraphrasing here, but like they kind of realized like, oh, you need to like have your undergrad done. Like so. At that time, you know, he's like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get my degree. He went to Long Beach State and wrapped that up. And we were starting to look at schools and really anywhere we could move where we could bring our dog. We have our pit bull and One of the stipulations was it couldn't be a state or like a town that had BSL, breed-specific legislation, because we weren't going to leave without her.
John Fetterman won't let that happen here.
Well, thank God. Go Fetterman. But yeah, we ended up looking somewhere kind of semi-close to his family, and my parents ended up moving like maybe 10 years ago back to North Carolina. So have plenty of family out here on the East Coast, and we're like, oh, Pittsburgh, like, landed here. I told him, I was like, somewhere where there's like art and music and just kind of a cool scene. I didn't know a lot about Pittsburgh, but he's like, oh, you'll love it. And, you know, my stipulation was like, oh, this should, you know, I want to go somewhere cold where there's like snow. He's like, oh, there will be snow.
Snow.
It's not eerie.
He did not tell me there would be as much rain. I was like, what the French toast is this? So much rain.
A lot of gray skies in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Not a lot of sunshine.
And like the summers are sweaty. Like,
But don't you enjoy the sun that much more when we have it?
oh yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
Like today, I actually laid in the salt today for like 15 minutes just absorbing the sun.
It was like 61 today.
It was beautiful.
It was insane.
Lovely.
Yeah. So anyway, we moved out here. He went to Pitt for law school, got his degree, and he has been a criminal defense attorney since like a year and a half now. It'll be 2 years in October, I guess. So.
And he's picking up clients every day.
Yeah.
I'll call him tomorrow.
I was gonna say you're about to be next. You're about to be next. But no, he, you know, he's doing that. And so before we left, I was working for like a mortgage processing company. One of the last things that I was doing. Moved to Pittsburgh, was working from home for that company, had like no friends, and was like making friends with like spiders in the window. And he's like, I was sending him video updates like, oh my God, look at the spider head babies. And he's like, you need to get out of the house and get real friends. So I applied for jobs in the area, ended up at PNC here that's like actually attached to like the complex, and was there for a little bit. And that's when I joined Union. You guys hadn't even like built out yet. And I joined May of 2017.
You were one of the first members back
Yeah.
in the early days.
Yeah. Back when like I think programming was still included in like the strength lab.
I didn't know that was a thing back
That
then.
was a
I
full
trained here back then.
That was like a full on thing. Yeah. So
So basically you're calling me out as the general manager that I'm failing.
I mean, I'm not gonna say
Things
anything,
evolve,
Todd.
things change. It's okay.
It's okay. I had a rough day.
Honestly,
Not help my ego.
listen, no, Todd, like, you know, I can't say enough good things about what you've done with Union. And, you know, the reason I joined was mostly like, oh, I got to get my ass in shape. Like, I hate the way I feel. I hate the way I look. You know, your general bullshit. But the reason I stayed was for the people. I think CJ, you were one of like the like OG people too.
Way before Hammer was here.
Like, oh,
You got the job because of me.
I was laying the
I
bricks.
introduced him to everyone here.
Ham was not here, just so everyone knows.
Just for the record, I got him the job here,
well, okay, so
and then I promoted him.
let the record show.
As soon as I get a compliment, Ham gets mad. He can get all the compliments in the world, and he's just fine.
Listen, my son here will grow into his own one day and spread his wings, but until then, I must keep him in his place.
We'll just ask everyone who squat benches and deads more, and we'll see the wings fly there.
Oh,
Before you moved
dang.
here, did you were you active in like the fitness? Did you go to gyms back like? Or no, you were just
So
doing...
like I was like, you know, interested in, you know, doing like a number of things. I had tried like LA Fitness out in, you know, Santa Monica. That was like just wasn't really I had no idea what I was doing was like the big thing. So doing anything independently without having any kind of experience is kind of a shit show. Like you're just like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll go for a week and then like give up. So I was doing like a lot of like basic classes that were associated with like the trends at the time. So cardio bar was like a huge thing. But it was also like stupid expensive, at least for what I could afford. So I was trying to like go to different studios with people as like, you know, day passes and stuff. But then that wasn't really my thing. I tried yoga. I tried a number of things, and I was just like, I like moving my body, but it just, you fall into, a pattern of like trying things and like just nothing really clicked. And I remember showing up at Union and I was like, I'm just gonna go and check it out. And like I did a day pass, literally 15 minutes on the treadmill, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this on a regular basis unless like I sign up for one of the most expensive packages. So after the treadmill, I went to the front desk. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one. They're like, you haven't even like taken a tour. And I'm like, no, I'm just,
that's what I have to do.
That one. So I started taking some of the cardio classes. You guys had a fat bell class at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
Which was awesome. You guys had cycling classes. We still had the bikes here. By the way, Union Fitness had bikes.
They still
Todd?
have bikes, just
Todd?
not cycle bikes.
Yeah, no more spin. Sorry.
Oh yeah, those rogue bikes.
They're toughies.
Oh, they make me want to barf every time.
They're blasters.
10
yeah.
calories on that thing's a killer.
Yeah,
Even
it's
just
a
10
nightmare.
calories.
It would be fine if it didn't just like assault your like face with a ton
like
of
normal
air.
assault
Like you
bikes.
can't.
You can't breathe.
If you have a beard, it just goes right into your face.
Well,
I'm sure you don't have the
I've
same
seen
problems.
I've seen the split beards.
I don't.
Or Soren had it the other day. He was
Or if you have a
doing-
nice muzzy, it flaps out to the side.
That's why we all wear masks now.
Yeah.
to
Well.
show off our muzzies.
Well, and now I'm like, I'm training for.
So
you know.
you've been training for the world record longest meet prep ever.
Yeah. It's
How
going
long's
on
it been?
like 3 years.
So I decided in October of 2019 that
We're
I
going
was.
back years now.
Yeah. I decided I wanted to challenge myself. I had done plenty of classes with Union, and an employee who used to work here was like, "Oh, you should do a
You
bodybuilding
can say
competition."
names. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So Allie, who used to work
That's
here,
fine.
she was like, "You should do a bodybuilding class," and I'm like, "You should mind your business. Like, that's not happening." And then I thought about it more, and like I would say like 6 months after that, I was like, maybe I will. Like I've never pushed myself like that far, physically, mentally. I've just, I thought about doing like a powerlifting meet, and I was just like, no, I'm too scared. Like I'm not ready for that yet.
You're always ready.
Powerlifting meet is so much easier than what you're preparing for.
Well, and I'm realizing that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
hey, this is a journey,
I'm
dude.
like, I should have done the powerlifting.
You know those new Doritos that you weren't allowed to eat? That your husband ate them for you. I
He's a
appreciate
good
what he
man.
did.
Good man.
Yeah, good man.
You can eat all the Doritos you want when you're going for a powerlifting meet.
You can have 28 grams of Doritos planned into your day.
I've never
if you
weighed a
do it
Dorito in my
right.
life.
Undusted. You have to take the dust off.
Yeah.
When I see people weighing, I saw someone weighing a donut once and I just got angry.
The most frustrating thing right now is like even stuff that like you would presume as like healthy, like a banana. Like I would love to be able to just like not think, like peel a banana and not think about
pound
it.
it.
But I'm like, that looks like 120 grams, but I won't know until I peel it. So I have to peel it, and then I put it on the little scale, and then I weigh it, and then you have to like eat it without the peel, and that's just pain in the ass. But yeah, so time wise, I decided October 2019 I was gonna start looking for coaches. I was gonna land one in like March. I landed one in March with the intent to compete October of 2020. And literally the week after, the week after I paid up front for like a 6-month program, everything shut down. Everything was done. And, people were scrambling.
Let me ask you, how does one find a coach in that world?
A lot of research. I actually found my coach through a referral. Rachel Sapienza, who used to work here, she had competed before, and I was asking her, I'm like, hey, can you recommend anybody? She's like, oh, I know these companies, are known for their training and stuff. She hadn't worked with them, but I started doing research on people, and I ended up landing with Pro Physique. They're based out of Florida. I was paired with a coach, did like a phone interview first. And like I had reached out to a number of different people, kind of described my goals and stuff and when I wanted to do it. And there were people who I just like, you get a bad vibe, like, oh yeah, I could get you there. And, just unrealistic shit. You're like, this seems like a fake ass, like like a money grab, And, I when I reached out to Pro Physique, just the process of going through it, like they wanted your, body composition details up front, and they wanted to know like where you were at, like, you know, physically, mentally, what the goals were. Are they realistic? You know, how have you been tracking your macros for a certain amount of time? A lot of it is, you know, science-based, and they're not going to put you through bullshit that just isn't realistic. And I think that's why I landed with the coach that I did, just because no bullshit up front, very, very honest about goals and how to get there.
So when is and it's a show, called a show, right? Not a movie.
Yeah.
When is the show?
It's tentatively May 8th. That is the date. So I'm officially, as of, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah. I'm officially 11 weeks out.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And you've done amazing. Your transformation's been absolutely amazing. That's why, you know, obviously we said, you know, we're all friends of yours here, but also the transformation you've made has been just great.
Thank you.
And so we wanted to have you on to talk about that. Is that in Pittsburgh?
No, that is in Lancaster. So it's called Pennsylvania Muscle. These
Competing against the Amish.
It's so funny, like all of the shows, and like I feel like there's like a common theme in like, you know, the fitness world, and I found this like after a while, but like a lot of the promotional stuff, I'm like, damn, this stuff looks like an Ed Hardy promo, like just the like,
dazzling jeans, dragon
the
t-shirts.
design, and like, you know, there's just a very particular type of aesthetic, and it's just, you know, it's funny, but
And this is why you should unpower. No one cares how you walk out to the platform. Like CJ will do a great impersonation of me limping to the platform.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. It's all about how much weight you move. And I've seen people eating Doritos while walking to the platform.
well, the thing is, you know, you do get to, they kind of fatten you up like
Yeah,
the
you
day
get a
before the
little
show.
honey the day before, something like
So
that, right?
I kind of refer to it as being foie gras. Like they kind of like just fill you up, and so like I'm already like I'm working towards that day. I don't
Yeah.
like show day is gonna be cool, but like the day before
Fill
is
me
just
up.
gonna be amazing. Fill me. I'm gonna eat all the things. Sandwiches. I'm gonna have like foot-long turkey sandwich.
So we went through all this and how, you know, what your husband does now here, your competition, and you worked for PNC, and who you with now? What are you doing for work?
I work for a company called Lending Home, and they are essentially, they process mortgages for people who like buy up houses for like fixing and flipping properties. They're unique in that they're also kind of a tech company, not kind of a tech company. They are known as a financial tech company because they build out their own technology to process the products. So everything is kind of proprietary in the technology that they utilize to do this. So it's just, I have like, I refer to it as like, you know, a fancy customer service job, but it has more the vibe of like what you would think like a cool like Google tech company is. Like, you know, all the offices are glass and they have iPads on every meeting room, and it's very
I feel like we have so many of those hip companies. that have
like it really is.
the new company moving in is like the hippest of them all. I forget the name
Why do
of
you
the
say
company
that?
right
Casual Friday every day.
now. Pretty much.
So
And
that's honestly, it is like it's kind of funny because like my colleagues and I do like Fancy Friday because everybody just dresses down anyway. But you
we
know,
should do that.
like they
Wear
do
t-shirts
like,
every day.
well, you know, I would expect that. I would really like to see you guys dress up.
Hammer tucks his polo into his gym shorts.
I don't
sometimes.
wear a polo with gym shorts.
I swear I've seen it.
I do
Uh,
not.
I swear I've seen it.
I call it the strength coach mullet. It's business up here, ready for headshot, but I can still get some squats in right now.
You know,
I won't do it.
I'm not mad at it. Nothing beats.
I am.
Nothing beats Cody's.
Cody's tucked in socks.
With the grout fit, the
Yeah,
very.
but he goes grout fit, tucked in socks, and he wears the white New Balances.
Yeah, he's ready to mow some lawns for
Yeah,
sure.
I told him he should spray paint the end zone green.
Now he needs to earn it.
Okay,
Yes.
so here's the thing about your company. One of the reasons I want to ask that, because they're obviously very supportive, because one of the things that they did this year is you did a huge fundraiser here. One of
Yes.
our more successful, because we try monthly to do a different fundraiser, and we'll, I think 8 to 10 a year, so not
Yeah.
quite every month, but you know, you brought this idea to me, and we met right outside here, me, you, and Sarah Rosner, member / employee / hipster, And we had a nice Sunday meeting, which I remember because then there were gunshots during the meeting. Do you remember that?
Shots.
You don't remember that? When we were sitting out there and there was a
Shots
bang, bang,
fired.
bang. And you're like, what was that noise? We're like, I think it was shots.
Oh,
And then
you
Erica
said
texted me,
heard
like, some
shots.
guy shot.
I thought you were saying we had
No,
shots. and
we
I'm
should
like,
have had shots.
Man,
but-
was I?
No,
was I
some
toasted?
random kid shot a parked car.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I
But
do.
yeah, I'll never forget that day because it was like, what was that noise?
Yep.
And you heard the sirens and everything. But so tell us about the fundraiser, how you did it, where you came up with the idea, and how awesome it was.
Honestly, the fundraiser kind of came after, a number of issues arose in the Black community. And I don't want to use ally because I feel like ally is just so overused, and I feel like you shouldn't directly describe yourself as an ally. Like, that's just weird to me. But I was in a place where I was like, I kind of feel helpless. Like, I want to be able to recognize a community that is currently hurting right now, that maybe, in Pittsburgh in particular, doesn't maybe always see, isn't always visible to people, and maybe bring awareness to the issues, and I know there were a number of GoFundMe pages for people affected by shootings and the murders, and I didn't quite initially know how to tackle it. It was on my heart, and I was like, how do you even begin to address things like this? And I had reached out to you because I knew kind of your stance, politically and socially, and I was like, okay, well,
Pretty much.
and I was like, okay, what if we incorporated something that had to do with, the nature of our social events that are going on, and how can we help the community that we're so heavily embedded in, I think it's easy to sometimes turn a blind eye to oh, we have this nice facility, and if we were being honest, there isn't as much diversity here as I think a lot of us would like to see. And opening ourselves and being more visible to the community was really something that I wanted to kind of help be a part of, and I knew that you were in a position to do that too. And so how can we incorporate something that we love, fitness? It's mid-pandemic, right? So how do we do something that unifies people without getting people sick, and can't really do anything indoors? So bike ride. We landed on an outdoor bike ride, and kind of just took off from there. You helped name everything. You set everything up, and honestly, it was just a small little burst of an idea. And you're
I think one of the beautiful things you said there is that you used, not used in a good way, Union Fitness as a community, but you also, instead of saying, this is my gym where I train or whatever, it's, hey, how can I be involved in it and bring them with me to make everyone better? My blog yesterday, I wrote about stakeholders versus shareholders. And that was part of my point, is that shareholder is going to make money off the business. You could look at me as a shareholder. If we're more successful, great, I make more money, wonderful. But stakeholders are people that really care about what the goals are. And you said it yourself, we don't have great diversity, and it's something that we're trying to work on. We don't have all the answers, but we can ask the questions. And I think what you said there is the beauty is in the simplicity.
Right.
You found a way to put strengths together, and you said I did a lot. I mean, I really, I made a few phone calls, because I know even a month out, I'm like, and I know you had the same fears. What if this is a bust?
Yeah.
Every event I've ever put on in my life, I get, I start freaking out.
Just CJ and a tricycle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I picture.
yeah.
CJ, a couple dogs wrestling each other, a tricycle, because my life is based around imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I walk around every moment of my life assuming I'm an imposter, and I shouldn't be where I am in life.
Right.
And because of that, every event I have, or we put on, or wherever I was, I'm convinced no one's showing.
Yeah.
So I think you took advantage of that in a great way, and it was, like I said, I think we have, 45 riders, 50 riders?
Yeah,
we're up there.
and I think partnering it with like, a well-established association like Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh was like the key to that, is finding, a recognizable entity within the community that is already actively serving, and find a way to utilize the resources that we have and give back to an entity that could really put those resources to a better use than maybe we would be able to even recognize for ourselves. So
Absolutely.
that's why we kind of got that together and had a lot of people partner on it. I mean, design, we had Sarah and, like Matt Grayson, like
Grayson with the shirts. The shirts were great.
Yeah.
Allegheny City Brewery.
Brewery.
My aunts and
I've had a
uncles.
few of them. So that's why I really like that.
Just now?
Maybe.
Hey, good for you.
Maybe I'm trying to make a show called Three Beers Deep.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun.
Every time we look at Josh, it's great because he looks at us like, this is dead air time. They should be talking about something.
No, but that was like, that was something really, really cool to partner with and just have you be so open. I think that was something that like I was really looking forward to. And then like with the turnout for that event, Bike Ride for Black Lives, I'm like, oh shit, like this could be like a regular thing. Like
Bringing it back next year. I've already invited the man who didn't know he was involved in it this year. I need a bell in here so I can ding it every time I say his name. Ding, John Fetterman. Here, the gavel. John Fetterman. I don't know if you know, he was at the Bike Ride for Black Lives.
He
doesn't know he was there
I was
either.
gonna say,
He doesn't know either.
He was just walking down the
We
trail.
rode past him. I was like, wow, that's a very large-looking man.
That looks like John Fetterman.
Yeah, and then...
And then I messaged his wife, said, was John Fetterman on the trail today? And she goes, why didn't you say hi?
Wow.
That's
like-
a very bold move, sliding into a politician's wife's DMs.
I have history with the Fetterman family.
I don't know the way you set that up,
The
though.
Fettermans like me.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
I'm
you stalk the Fettermans. I don't know if the,
When you're running for political things, I don't know words right now, you need a few good stalkers. I just happen to be a good stalker.
All right, well.
And I have this weird thing in my life, Jesse. I don't know if you know.
He's
When
a
I
stalker.
find someone who I respect, I will talk to them. It's like, like Henry Rollins was coming to speak, and I was going to see Henry Rollins. I was like, I want to talk to Henry Rollins. So I just kept Googling until I found Henry Rollins' email, and I emailed him, said, Henry, I want you to come train with me. Let's hang out.
How
Let's
many
be
Henry
friends."
Rollinses did you email before you got the right one?
One. Because then I called his publicist and said, I just emailed Henry Rollins. Is he going to get the email? And they said, yeah. What email do you use? And I was like, Hank at Gmail, whatever it was. It was Hotmail because it was a long time ago. And she's like, yeah, he checks every day. He'll get back to you. And he got back to me almost immediately. So I will, when
Well, did it happen?
he did not come train. We shared some emails. He was busy. He was coming to D.C. and he's from there. He had
He
to
was
go,
busy.
he had to go hang out with the guys from Minor Threat. They were there. Ian McKay. New album just came out from Ian McKay. Fun fact. I'm a hipster. I know these things. Buy the record. Jesse bought a bunch of records this weekend, so we can't say anything about it.
I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there.
But yeah, so I think I do stalk people, but I think it's a good thing.
Well, maybe he'll join this next year.
Yeah.
So John Fetterman will be the mayor of the Bike Ride for Black Lives 2021.
With those calves, he needs some bikes in his life.
He actually retweeted me recently.
That's a big dude on a
Big
bike.
guy.
That's a big bike.
Big boy.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
legs,
Please repeat pass.
no legs.
Big boy.
I don't know what that means, but the running joke is that he doesn't wear pants; he wears shorts all year.
Yeah.
So I tweeted at the picture of him and said, "You got to come to Union and train your legs." And he did a ha 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 retweet. He retweeted
A
it.
good guy.
Yeah, he quoted my tweet
Wow.
actually.
Famous.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's my claim to fame. I'm going home. It's been a good day. The police are after me. I should
Telling
probably use some of my
Call the right
political-
person.
political clout to get out of it.
Yeah, dude.
So what advice would you give to anyone? They're new to the gym. You've been through it. Big thing here. What do you got for them?
Honestly, get involved in the classes. Like, especially if you're kind of like new to training. I had when I stepped into union, I did not know how to properly lift a weight. It was
still don't, so, yeah.
like 100% had no idea. And they had the powerful classes that I started going to, and literally just the basics, like being able to be in an environment that is I will say this, we talked about like the gym being able to kind of open up and be more diverse. it's one of the more diverse gyms, at least when I joined, for like a male to female ratio in like the weightlifting sector or area, I guess, I would describe it as. But joining classes, you meet so many other people who are, either at the same level of you that you are, or, maybe they're a month ahead or a year ahead, and they have the same story. Like, I've had people like, oh my gosh, like, you've had all this progress, and like, your physical, like the physical nature of your body, the way it's changed composition is like amazing. Like, how long have you been an athlete? I'm like, I don't consider myself an athlete. Like, I'm not an athlete. I just happen to know the right people who have helped me get to where I'm at, to where I want to be, because I decided, like, I pointed at a picture, it was like, I think I want to do this, and I googled the right people, and it's just surrounding yourself with the right people. So go to the classes, meet new people, ask trainers questions. Like, I took a ton of classes with CJ. I think he's, contributed to, like, a lot of form issues that I had, and like,
He made him worse.
And giving me shit, like stuff that, like, maybe I, had been at a point where I learned the basics, and I'm like, no, like, I'm comfortable moving this way. And he's like, that's some bullshit weight, and we're gonna add like another 50 pounds because you're sandbagging it. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but
just a gentle push.
Having
That's all we need sometimes.
Honestly, and like, I attribute a lot of my success and working knowledge of like what I do, and like how I've gotten to the place that I'm at, because of people like you, because of just the gym being so open and welcoming to teach people. Like, you don't have to be afraid to lift weights. Like, don't be afraid to walk into the gym. No one gives a shit about what you're doing. They really don't. I mean, unless you're being an asshole, no one cares about what you're doing. So just getting over your own fears, getting over your own bullshit, and just being like, no, I'm here, I belong here. And if you don't feel like you belong here, go talk to someone at the front desk, because they'll talk to whoever it is that makes you feel like you don't belong here.
Again, I think you made another great point there. In no one's an island. Everyone leans on, learns from, steals from, borrows from. Me and CJ love to trash talk each other, but I can truly tell you, I wouldn't be where I am without CJ, and CJ wouldn't be where he is without me. It was teamwork, because we have helped each other along the way. And I think that one of the, and this is before me, but it's still, I'm proud of this place for it, is that I do believe when you look across, we have some really good lifters here who are willing to step up and help out those around them.
Yeah.
And it could be a beginner, it could be an experienced lifter, but you see everyone stepping up to. I love whenever I come in and there's a big squat or a big bench, or someone's about to do something cool, and I know Josh has seen it, and others from the gym stop.
Yeah.
And it's not like, and I don't want to call out YMCA's, but sometimes at a Y, everyone stops and looks at that guy benching 315, like, and it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
But here it's like a deference, a respect.
Sign of respect.
People are spotting, people are watching, and it's, some people are doing it to give a good cue to coach that person up. Others are watching just because they want to see someone do something cool and strong.
Yeah.
And that's what I think really makes it special. I think you kind of hit it down the head. Come in, have some confidence, ask some questions, get involved, talk to people, and that's what makes this community so special, I think. And it's people like yourself that make it that, because there are women that probably come in now who are intimidated by you saying, I wish I could do it. And I shouldn't just say women, people, men and women, but specifically, saying, I wish I could do that. And they're probably afraid to ask, but knowing you're going to be open to those people and helping.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, like, you just never stop learning. Like, there are so many things that, like, even walking in and like the experience that I've had, there's so many things that, like, I haven't done. Like, I bought like wrist wraps. I've never used them because I'm like, I look like an asshole. I have a new lifting belt, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that kind of looks a little too thick for my body. I don't want to walk into the gym wearing that until I get someone's approval on, like, this size, And so there's certain, like, apprehensions that I have still walking in and being like, all right, am I doing this right? Like, some of the heavier, like, automated equipment, like, I've never touched. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be on the list for, like, after the show.
We're
of, like,
squatting
how
in
to learn.
Monolift next week.
I mean,
Right before
no.
your show.
I mean, so there's, you're always going to have apprehensions about something that you've never done, and just being comfortable, and, like, everybody's so nice here, and, like, like, I have, like, the classic, like, angry face, just a constant, like,
Angry face.
and it doesn't,
No, the mask, it covers it all. It's good.
no, but, like, I just, the mask doesn't help either, a lot of people think that, like, I'm mean, or, like, and I'm just, like, so in the zone, but, if anybody were to come up to me and, like, ask me for help or ask me for advice, like, I just, I'm super welcome to it, but, I don't have the most warm aesthetic, I guess you could say. So I think it's important to, maybe recognize that even though it's a tough exterior sometimes, the majority of the people here, if you ask them for help, they're going to go out of their way to help you.
I agree.
Whether it's staff or people, lifters.
Even the dudes recording the podcast sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, you get these guys who are, like, squatting close to, 1,000 pounds, and you're like, could you, spot me for, like, 180, please? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're patting you on the side, just getting you hyped up. Like, that's what this place is, no matter what.
You want to see success.
I watched a skiing documentary one time, and they were talking about extreme skiing.
Yeah.
Yes. And the gentleman who was a world-class skier said, extreme skiing is just skiing beyond your personal envelope, pushing that envelope to the edge. And I think that's the thing, is that no one really truly cares about the weight on the bar per se, because it's about, are you working hard? And no matter who's squatting, if they're going for a PR and everyone knows they work hard, that respect has been earned, that respect's being given, and people are going to get excited for that. And it could be a 500-pound squat, a 400-pound squat, or a 900-pound squat. And I think that's one of the cool parts. Obviously, when Curtis pulls 800 pounds, people notice it. But I can, even in my career, but here, I can think back to lifts, like the first time, I remember the first time Ollie benched 225. And he's like, hey, spot me on this. And he doubled it. And he was like, that felt good. That was a PR. And I'm like, why are we not celebrating? Like,
Give me a high five.
yeah, like,
brother.
can we do something? Why did you for 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, it just felt good. And I was like, that's awesome. And that, was him push. And I know that guy shows up every morning and works hard to get to where he's at. I know he'll never be a great powerlifter because he's a doctor who's working, these 24-hour shifts. And yeah, just doing things that.
Who was also on Family Feud, by the way.
What?
Yeah. I had to ask one of our other members, Maria. I was like, that looks,
That's
I
the
think
dude
that,
from
yeah. And I was like, is he, because, she knows him personally. And I only know
I didn't
him,
know
in
I didn't
passing.
know they were friends.
So
Oh.
I was like, can you get, like, some insight? I'm pretty sure I just saw him on Family Feud. And it was, like, from, a couple years back. But I was like, oh, shit, that's the dude. He's funny.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't know it, like, because,
Good dude.
but he's a funny guy.
Yeah,
Good-
that's
good
one of the
stage
cool parts.
I'll have
presence.
to find that episode out.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
played on the screen one day
Was
when
it
we walked
Drew
in.
Carey or Steve Harvey? Which one?
It was
the-
Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was the OG of Family Feud? The guy that used to make out with the girls back in like the 80s. The
What?
guy that used to kiss all the ladies.
I
What
just
was
knew
his
Drew
name?
Harvey. We'll edit that part out. Don't worry. Jocelyn
No,
fixed it.
the guy in the 80s, and he would always kiss the ladies, and it was kind of awkward.
I was born in '91.
They're reruns. You know what the Brady
Yeah,
Bunch is?
baby. That's
Oh
true.
my God! I guess he's trying to edit it out. Well, hey, we appreciate you spending some time with us. You have
Thank
any
you.
last minute thoughts you want to drop on us?
Give us something.
Oh,
Peace, love,
damn.
and big deadlifts.
Pulled
No.
a couple big sumos though.
Yeah, you know what? I recently got into sumos out of nowhere. I started seeing my coach do sumos, and I was like, that looks fun. And it's fucking way easier than, like,
Yeah, conventional stuff.
conventional.
Oh,
Oh my God! I was like, it's a brand new world. Like,
Yeah.
what is this? So y'all are gonna see me doing sumos.
Wait,
more
before
often.
you leave, can you talk about your training? Like we all know you're a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like what's inside? What are we doing? What kind of training are we at?
So 11 weeks out right now, we are doing 275 minutes of cardio. We are training. Yeah. So We're doing that right now. I'm trying to do 2-a-days, if
Oh.
possible. I'm training 4 to 5 days a week, so programming.
So 2 days cardio in the morning, lifting at night, or whatever. Or 2
No,
lifts
so
in a
I'll
day?
typically do like if I can plan it right. I like to weightlift in the morning and do cardio at night. I like to kind of do it in like 1 hour to 90-minute spurts for cardio. But training is like 4 to 5 days a week, and then cardio is wherever I can fit it in. I hate cardio.
Sure.
I'm real bad at it. But it's part of the programming. And then the food is like the biggest thing. So managing like macros and body composition. I found someone to do that for me. If I had to do it on my own, I would not be where I'm at. But right now, outside of my refeed macros, I am consuming 110 grams of carbs, 40 grams of fat, and 140 grams of protein.
Whoa.
So I am around like 1,400 calories.
So training wise, you said 4 to 5 days. Are you doing 2 upper, 2 lower, full
Mhm.
body? Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite day?
Like day 1 RPE lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, is like RPE of 8 to 10. Like just the heavy lower body day is usually like what gets my week
Sumo
started.
deads.
Yeah, a lot of like glute work, like muscles I didn't know I had before, or like coming out of nowhere, and that's just part of cutting. I've been through now two like refeeds, 2 off-season refeeds, and then like 2 cuts. So it's been a lot. My body's been through a lot, but it's been really interesting to see.
Do you have plans after the bodybuilding show? What's the step? Do you know? Or are you just gonna play it by ear? Go IFBB Pro. Go strongman.
It's gonna. I don't know that strongman's really my scene. I think it's cool, like what people are able to do in the same way that like I think people who do like CrossFit, like good for them. It's just one of those things where like in the same way that like cardio bar wasn't for me, I don't see it being for me. If you love it, awesome, keep doing what you're doing. I have it on my list to do a powerlifting meet, so
Welcome to the dark side.
yeah. So we'll probably be sticking to training here, since that's what everybody here specializes in. Y'all can teach me how to wrap my wrists properly, and where my belt is too thick, I'll be a little more.
Belt. We'll get you rolling.
Yeah, so that's on the list. But honestly, I just want to take a little bit of a break. I anticipate needing some recovery. I intend on doing a reverse diet so that I don't like freak out and just eat all the things afterwards.
Smart.
There is a healthy way to kind of decompress from like that show, especially with like just mentally. You get a lot of body dysmorphia. Like I'm even going through it now with like my body changing the way it is, and especially afterwards when you start gaining that weight back, it's kind of, there's a lot that goes into it mentally. So I'm looking forward to gaining the weight back kind of in a healthy way, and then building out some more lean mass, or maybe some thick mass. I don't care. I mean, like whatever. I don't mind being thick with the double C. Like it's I just want to be healthy and be strong. What I'm doing right now is it's extreme. It's it's considered
Competition, right.
it's a competition. There are people who come in and work out, and then there are people who train. There's a difference, and right now I'm so hyper focused on training to reach that goal. So once I do it, I'll approach the opportunity to eventually do something else. But I don't know, I flirted with the kabuki. I don't know how soon I could do that.
Yeah, that's right. When's it? August?
Probably.
August, and after the meet, I'm just saying reverse diet, but maybe a special guest appearance on By the Slice.
Take you to the top 10 pizza joints in Pittsburgh.
I will go to all
There
of
it
them.
is.
Listen,
By the Slice. Yeah, have a
I
slice,
have
some
no
pizza.
problem.
This dude can eat a pizza in like 4 seconds while describing what he's tasting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like wine. It's like, I taste the tomatoey basil. on
With
that.
the jet engine breathing out the hotness of the pizza.
Yeah, that's what freaks me out.
The
Yeah.
No, like he gets the pizza and it's still like I like a pizza after it's sat and the cheese has congealed a little.
Yeah.
Just a little. This dude
You
just,
gotta go straight from oven to mouth.
like, he'll be like licking his fingers. I'm like, that was 4 slices he just had.
I could mess up like if you like back like before I got like like fit and started training, I could crush like an entire pizza by myself.
College days.
This summer, new pizza shop opening right behind the sushi place in Swickley, owned by the same people. You can buy the pizza and then go sit in the sushi or the taco place's outdoor area.
Have you seen the sushi pizzas?
I have
Those
not.
look amazing.
Whoa.
I have not.
Whoa.
Yeah,
We
look
shouldn't
fire.
be talking about
Shameless
sushi.
plug, slices deep and then 2 beers deep, and I said it all wrong.
Buy the slice, buy the slice.
You should get some pizza and drink some beers and listen to old Josh over here.
Talk about Danishes.
He said he didn't
donuts,
like us, so I'm trying to
pizzas,
pump him up.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on. It was awesome
Thank
to
you.
have you here. You're an awesome friend, an awesome person.
Thank you.
Your family is awesome.
Thank you.
And I have to say that because when I need bailed out later this
Mhm.
week, I know who I'm calling.
You got his number, right? Like
I
you
got
got
his number.
okay.
Do you
I'm
want
gonna
to
text about the bike ride.
hit a
anyways.
double bicep pose before we leave? Or
I don't know. I'm
anything?
kind of sweaty.
Oh.
Like
That's glistening.
Yeah, that's the glaze.
Show
they
us
put
the
on
one
you.
pipe, one pipe.
okay.
Boom!
There
There
it
it is,
is.
folks. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys are the best.
You're the best.
CJ,
Josh.
today Jessie came on. She's a member at Union Fitness, and one of the OG members of the Union Fitness,
A lean, mean fighting machine.
which is really cool. And you being also one of the early adapters of Union Fitness.
for sure.
And I just wanna read the ad read, or part of the ad read, that we do on Thoughts from the Bench every week. At Union Fitness, they believe it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. And that entire interview, I think, stressed that. You know what I mean? Like, it was just really cool that the way she kind of went through the evolution of Union Fitness and how she does legitimately feel like it is a community between, feeling comfortable enough to go to Ham to ask to help do a fundraiser to, being part of the powerlifting scene to, getting her own stuff going with classes. I mean, it's pretty inspiring, I think, what we do here.
Dude, it's a very exciting dojo. She came in kind of scared and nervous, not knowing anyone, not having any friends. And obviously the first time she came in, she hit the treadmill and then jumped in some classes because that's how she is. But, I mean, not going to lie, some people say I'm pretty unapproachable sometimes, just the way I look. But once you start to talk to me, you understand that I'm here for you, and I want you to succeed because I love when we can assist. We don't help, we assist people
Yeah.
succeed. And I think that's what Union Fitness is all about, helping people realize that they are strong in their own certain ways. It might not be old Josh Conroy lifting 600-pound deads. He's the man of the week and of the year. Or Jessie deadlifting 185. If it's a PR for you, it's your PR, and that's exciting.
Where do you think that mentality comes from?
I think working a lot in the college athletic scene, or just in the athletic scene, you want to see success in different ways, and you want small victories and small wins as often as you can get them, because losing sucks, but we all lose, so we have to experience it. And I think just coming from a college background or athletic background, supporting your family, supporting your team, especially us, where I'm 30 tomorrow. I haven't been on a team in I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to support each other. We want to grow as a team. This is the closest thing we get to a team. We might show out to powerlifting meets together. We might show out to Jessie's show, but we want to support each other. I think that's very important.
It's truly something that I experienced when I started training here, and I think that everybody does experience to some level here. And if you don't, I think we want to hear about it because, I think it's awesome. I've talked about it on this show before that, the friends I've made through fitness and gyms are some of the best friends I've ever had. I mean, Josh Conroy being
For
chief
sure.
among them.
He is the man.
But, I think that it's so cool here that, the practice what they preach. And it's something that I know is said to you guys on a daily basis as staff members, but then you back it up.
Right.
And
Obviously, we don't
that's
want to take
what's
away
awesome.
time from training, but it's important that you see us training. It's important that you see Curtis doing competitions. It's important that you see us competing in some way. If it's training together, posting videos online to show that we see you struggling, we see you competing, and we're right there with you. And then we'll help you, we'll spot you, we'll coach you, we'll guide you to whatever you need. but we're all in the weightlifting world together. We're all in the world of bettering ourselves together, and I think
Right.
this is a cool spot because we're in the hotbed of Pittsburgh. There's 2 stadiums right down the road. There's 17 bars down the road, and we all meet in the middle
Right. To lift weights.
to lift weights. And
Yeah.
then after we lift weights, perhaps cheers.
We lift some 16 ounces.
We lift spirits.
I like it.
We lift spirits and friends.
All right, that has been the Union Fitness podcast this week. Aristotle once said, through union, there is strength, and that is what we practice and preach here at Union Fitness Community.
Aristotle had a big bench.
Huge bench,
Huge.
some say. All right, CJ, thank you so much. Thank you to Jessie for joining us, and thanks, Todd.